Hey, today is video 4, Pain-Free Professional Basic Training. So glad you could join me again. I'm Sally DeCessory, and it's been my pleasure to share with you some ideas along the way. And today we're going to be seeing how the energy of others affects us and how it affects how we're feeling affects others. I even have some antidotes, some stories from my personal life that have been really mind-blowing for me and for those around me. So we're going to use a partner with this one. If you can put yourself on pause and just grab somebody, it's only going to take a little bit. They don't even really have to know what's happening. If they do have an idea, then we'll do both sides with them, but otherwise you can just say, okay, this is all you have to do, and we'll go there. Okay, so if you are grabbing somebody that has no clue what's going on, you're going to be the receiver. We're going to have the receiver be the top hand. Okay, so we've got two people, and you're going to have the giver have the hand on the bottom, receiver have the hand on the top. We're going to do our gold ball. No, excuse me, our energy ball. Shake, shake, whatever you need, blah, 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 energy, come on. All right, so we got our friend on the bottom here, the giver, receiver on top. All right, and so remember, if you've enlisted somebody who doesn't have a clue what's going on, just have them be the giver, and it doesn't really, they'll be fine, they'll do well. So receiver, you're going to feel this, and what we're going to do is we're going to ask the person who's giving to think of something that makes them feel really good. And you've already had a little practice with what makes you feel good. And just feel what that feels like when they're thinking of eating an ice cream cone, going shopping, reading a book, on vacation, seeing beautiful sunsets, hanging out with friends or family. And just notice how, pets, how can I forget them? If you've got one you love, think about them. So notice how that energy feels, receiver. And now we're going to ask the giver to think of something that's not so happy. Oh, it might be they've got to get their car in for repairs, or darn, I've got to go grocery shopping after work tomorrow, or I've got a meeting with so-and-so and I'm not really looking forward to it. That patient is coming in that I don't like. Yeah, you get the drift. And what happens? Same, right? Okay. Doesn't take long to figure that out. We're going to switch. The person who was the giver is now going to be the receiver. And receiver is now the giver. Think happy thoughts and just notice how that feels. Take your time. Think good thoughts. And now think something that's not so good. What happens, right? Okay. Now we're going to switch again, and it's going to be a surprise. I want the person on the bottom, who's the giver, who was the original giver, to offer the energy, whatever you feel like. Either happy or sad, happy or depleted, full or empty. And just notice. What are you feeling, receiver? Do you notice anything? And then tell your giver what you thought it was. And then switch. Got the person who was the receiver on the bottom. The giver. They're switching spots. And try it again. And the new giver is going to surprise the receiver with a thought, what they're imagining, what they're picturing in their mind. And see if you can figure that out. Receiver, what is your giver offering to you? What kind of mood are they in right now? And that's what I want you to be thinking about when you're looking over your charts, when you're noticing who's coming in today. How do they make you feel? How do you feel when you see that name? Do you respond with, oh, no? And you expect it to be the same. It's always been that way. And so using what you just learned about how the energy feels, how's that person going to feel when they feel your energy? Whether they even know they're feeling it or not, it's subconscious, it's subliminal. So I want you to change how you're thinking about your patients. And it might be hard for the fact that it's never been different. They've always been the way they've been. But I want to tell you 2 quick stories. And then you decide how you want to move ahead. If you want it to be the same, or you want it to be different. So we'll speak first of Christopher, not his real name. Christopher was the guy who was tightly wound, suit and tie, nice and prim and proper, shaved properly, haircut always well, you know, just like, boom, looking good, socks were great, always just a little on the fashionable side, but not so much, you know, just he looked really good, but he was like, eh. So I would go get Christopher. And we never communicated on the same page. It seemed like every time I made a suggestion, there was a reason that he didn't like that, or he tried it, or it wasn't going to work for him, or he was insulted, or something. It just, you know how I wasn't saying anything right, ever, but he kept on booking with me. So here he is on my schedule again. Christopher's on my schedule. And today I decided to say, how can it be easy? I don't know how it's going to be easy, but today I'm open to the possibility. I am curious how it's going to be easy for me. How this appointment is going to be easy for both of us. So I walk out, and there is Christopher, or who looks like Christopher, except for the fact that it's a person in jeans and a sweater, red sweater, and I call out Christopher's name, almost expecting no response from anybody, and sure enough, this is the guy that looks up and gives me a huge smile. Well, already things are different. So I couldn't wait to get him back to the operatory. So I'm like, come on. What is new? What is different with you? And he went, I decided not to take life so seriously. And that lined up exactly with me wanting things to be different, wanting things to be easy. And remember I talked about the molecules at the beginning with Gary Zukav? and the Dancing Woolly Masters. What changes here changes over there with intention, right? We have had a blast together ever since. And then I've got Barbara. Barbara's the lady that puts everybody on edge. She doesn't want her papers stapled together. She wants one tissue, no suction. Can't use the Cavitron, and I can't lay back. And I really don't like to have that space in between my teeth, but I don't want gum disease. Alrighty then. So when I saw her, I went, oh my, how can this be different? I had no clue. I had decided never to talk during an appointment. I was just going to do my job, and that's what I'd been doing. But as you can tell, I like to talk a little bit. So how can it be different? So I went out to get her, quiet, brought her back, sat her down, looked at my notes to make sure I was on track with what she wanted, where she wanted to sit, one tissue. We're good. I'm working away, my hands there, boom. She said, your arm must get so tired. You could have picked me up off the floor. I recovered nicely, and I said, well, thank you for noticing that. Yes, but you're a violinist. She's a professional violinist. And she said, I said, but your arm must get tired too because of what you do. And she said, yes, but your arm is static. So not only did she gave me the compliment, I gave the opportunity for her to take it kind of back, and she didn't accept it. She gave it right back to me. And what had been different this time was the voice I heard in my head as I went to the front, wondering how today could be different. And the voice said, she's human. She's human. She only wants what I want. She's just like me. She just copes in a different way than I do. She's learned different ways to protect herself. She's learned different ways to get along in the world. And what is so cool is over the year and a half that I've been seeing her, since that day, we actually joke. The ladies at the front, they're like, you were joking with her? And it's so fun. I can't say I'm 100% relaxed with her, but the difference between how I was and how I am now and how our interaction is night and day. So those are the only two things. Everything else has been experiential, but write this down. How can it be easy? How can it be different? And you don't have to figure anything out. Just be curious how it's going to be easy for you. And let me know, because I love to hear how this simplicity is staggeringly effective. Mwah! Bye for now. See you in the next video. And please, please, bring on those comments. Let me know what you're thinking, good or bad, because it's all good. I can learn from everything. Bye for now.